Hello everyone, this video is aimed at presenting my project about things you encounter in Final Fantasy XIV from 2.0 onward and how they looked in the previous games, whether it is a class or job, a summon, a boss or enemy, and maybe some items. Before starting, I need to say that unfortunately I'll only focus on the main series, but I'll still cover the sequels and prequels like Final Fantasy XIII-2 or Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. Also, I have to add that my videos will often be spoilers heavy. Now that I said it, all complaints about lack of spoiler warnings will be invalid. Despite the word series, each episodes rarely impact each other story-wise, save for Final Fantasy games like X-2 and Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings. But that didn't stop the creators to transfer elements from one episode to another, even though they only have the name in common sometimes, you'll see. I will, of course, start off from the first time that feature appeared, whether in the very first Final Fantasy or a further game, which is mostly the case for the summons that only appeared in the third game, save for some of them, and I'll make my way through them until Final Fantasy XIV from 2.0 included. Now a bit about the format. Most of the time I'll try to do one video for one recurring element in Final Fantasy XIV, but some of them appeared rarely, so I may have to cover many subjects in one go. Now a bit more about the videos. There are two kinds. First, the short version, only aimed at clearly defined features in the previous games, and the long version, trying to search through a Final Fantasy XIV lens what could be considered as that element when it's not that clear. The first videos will cover the 6 first class, often called jobs, in the first Final Fantasy that we can play in the 14th, meaning the warrior, the thief, the monk, the white mage, the black mage, and the red mage. Now you can go watch the first video about the warrior, or that other video explaining roughly how things worked in the games I'm covering, like the ATB gauges, the sphere grids, etc. The next part is about some annoying stuff that I felt the need to explain. As much as I can, the screenshots and footage will come from my own playthroughs, but in case of borrowing, I'll link the sources in the description and in the video. Two games will most likely only be borrowed. Final Fantasy XI for time constraints, because that's a 15 years old MMORPG, and Final Fantasy VII Before Crisis for technical reasons, as it was a Japan exclusive title on some specific mobile phones, although an interview in 2010 mentioned the idea of remaking it on 3DS one day. Penultimate issue you might be concerned about, the use of remakes. I will show different versions when the differences are really important, like Final Fantasy III, who underwent a lot of change between the original NES and the DS versions. But I'll just use footage from the Game Boy Advance versions for Final Fantasy V and VI. Differences are too minor between them and the SNES version. For FF XII, I'll just talk about the original version, though I might add the Zodiac Age one day. Some things also only appeared in remakes, I'll point that out too, don't worry. Lastly, about the languages used in the footage and screenshots. Some were only taken in French and others only in English, but don't worry, I'll edit the important names. Alright, thanks for reaching the end. It's now up to you to watch the other videos if you ever wondered what your favorite summon or boss might have looked like. Take care and have fun!